Welcome back to the Graveyard Shift. My name is Bones. Today, I'm joined by none other than you fucking antsy bitch. Today, I'm joined by
Steve Crow.
So, this is part two to Tales of Halloween. Tales of Halloween. Yeah, Tales of Halloween. It's an anthology series of a bunch of Halloween spooky shorts. We've already covered half of them.
If you haven't seen part one, the link in the description.
This is part two. It's in the title. Come on, you guys.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like,
Anyway.
why do you start at part two?
Who does that? You did. You fucking psycho. I like you. You go against the grain. That's crazy. Spoilers, yeah. This is nothing but spoilers. We'll probably divide this up. Fucking, there'll be timestamps in the description below if you want any of these to be a surprise. There's like 3 in here out of the 5 that I'd say, yeah, keep it a surprise. But these first 2, oh boy! Speaking of the first 2, take us away.
So next up
Oh.
is a short called Ding Dong, directed by Lucky McKee.
Lucky McKee, man, we got.
All I gotta say, it was weird and it made me feel uncomfortable.
Is that your review?
That's my review.
This movie is weird and it made me feel uncomfortable. Steve. Put that on the fucking box. Yeah, there isn't that much to say about this one. It's really ambiguous in a good-ish way and a very bad way. It leaves me with way too many questions. I don't know about you, but like, none of it made sense. Essentially what this one is about, if you could say it's about anything, is about an abusive, maybe witch monster that's in a relationship with a normal dude that may or may not be Gretel from Hansel and Gretel. And they have a terrible relationship, and maybe one of them gets eaten at the end. That's the whole short. Yeah, it kind of sucks. The main problem of this film for me is that it raises too many questions and doesn't answer them. Now, normally in filmmaking, that's not a problem. Ambiguity, mystery, those are good things in a film, but when they literally just confuse the audience and just sucks them out, I don't know. That's what happened to me with the entirety of this film. Was she actually a witch monster? Was she actually eating kids? Was it all just like a metaphor? What is Lucky McPhee, whatever your fucking name is, McKee? What is he trying to say with this movie? That when women don't get what they want, they turn into horrible witch monsters? Like, I don't know what this movie's trying to say. I don't know anything about it aside from the fact that the witch monster looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a big positive. That was pretty sick.
Yeah. I like the hands and like
yeah.
the candy cane kind of arms.
Especially when the arms come out from like behind her
Yeah,
back. That's pretty sick. Yeah, that's really cool design.
Any scene with the monster in it was cool, but like also just served to confuse the audience more. Oh, I will say this about the one positive about it, outside of the witch monster, you get to see all the kids, even kids you haven't seen yet.
Oh yeah.
You meet the kids from Trick, all the kids that butcher the couple, and you meet the kid from a short that we haven't even covered yet.
Next up, we have a short film called This Means War by Andrew Kosh and John Skip. Sorry if I butchered your name, Mr. Andrew Kosh.
Did you know the kid from Donnie Darko was in this?
Oh yeah.
Just like the last one, this one there isn't that much to say about it. Do you want to?
Yeah. So essentially, I mean, it's a fun little short. It doesn't take itself too seriously. So essentially, what happens is there's a jolly old neighbor. I mean,
I don't even know if you can call them jolly. There's 2 neighbors and they both celebrate Halloween in different ways.
Yeah, so the first dude, I guess our main character, he celebrates Halloween in like a very kind of family friendly. He has a lot of cool decorations.
Yeah, but they're very old fashioned. They're harmless. They're cute.
Yeah, and he has like these overly punk rock neighbors
New
across
neighbors
the
that
street.
just moved in and
Yeah.
they're rabble rousers.
Yeah, and they roll in with a big ass truck full of all sorts of crazy Halloween decorations, like super bloody and like
Countless
modern.
decapitated
Yeah,
heads.
it's like this
chains.
fake blood everywhere,
Great.
intestines, and like.
Mm.
So when it comes to Halloween night, we have our protagonists across the street celebrating more traditionally.
What happens is exactly what you're expecting. What happens?
Yeah, so like the neighbors across the street are partying super loud, huge music, and there's like they're all dressed up all like, you know, promiscuously kind of. Well, I guess the girl was. So
Kinda.
yeah. So this upsets our main character to the point where he goes across the street, tells him to turn it off, please, or turn down the music, and then they get into a fight.
You're giving this way too much attention. What essentially happens is they have a disagreement, and then they both unintentionally kill themselves.
Yeah, during the middle of the fight,
That's the whole short.
main character tackles antagonist into
Antagonist.
into a wooden plank on accident. They both get impaled and they die.
And that's
Fun fact: one of the police that show up at the end actually shows up as police in
The
the future
last
short.
Yeah.
I do gotta say though, those extras in that crowd, that when they were watching them fight, they were having a lot of fun, man. They're like,
yeah. I honestly, the whole short exuded fun. It's
Yeah.
not a bad short.
yeah, it's
Just because there isn't that much to say about it, because there wasn't that much that happened, doesn't make it a bad short. It might be right up your alley. I wouldn't even give this one a bad grade. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. The Johnny Darko guy, he's the best part. He's having a gay old time, and he's like the least confrontational at first. Like, it's great. It's great, but there's just not that much shit to say about it.
so what I think.
It's good, but it's not great, but it's not bad either.
So I think I see the dichotomy they're going for, like what they're trying to tell.
Oh, yeah.
It was like kind of more like traditional, family-friendly Halloween, old school Halloween versus the more modern, super hyper-realistic gore. Just the two different ways to celebrate Halloween clashing. One's
Yeah.
more old school, one's more modern, hardcore.
Yeah. Like I said, I understand the movie. You will too. It doesn't take a fucking scientist to understand this one. Just enjoy it. Moving on.
Moving on to this next one, I'm very excited to talk about.
Fuck. I think we're gonna have to tackle this one a little bit different. I think we're just gonna have to go bit by bit by bit because this shit's Shrekking hard. It's got layers upon layers. We got an onion on our hand, boys, and it's delicious. This is, without a doubt, my #1 contender. I love this one. What's it called, Crow?
It's called Friday the 31st. So this one,
Directed by who? My boy, Mr. Mendez.
Mike Mendez.
Fucking legend.
So when I first watched this, I thought it was paying just like a nice parody, nice homage to Friday the 13th with a Jason rip. Oh no, I actually think it was supposed to be Jason because the girl says Jason later on.
Does she really?
Yeah, she's like Jason, like inside of the book.
No.
So anyway, I will watch it again.
Because his face doesn't even look the same.
Well, dude, it's like different every time anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, it starts off with Jason chasing this girl through the woods, holding like a severed head. I guess it was a friend or something. I guess she's dressed as Dorothy from Wizard of Oz.
This is all irrelevant because
Yeah. So anyway, it starts off as kind of like, kind of classic slasher Friday the 13th deal. Chases her down. She
slowly
runs.
walking after her,
Yeah.
no matter how fast she runs, he will walk her down.
Yeah, she finds her way into his barn where there's a bunch of dead people and severed limbs and
Amazing
decapitated-
set.
Yeah,
Such a juicy set.
Yeah, super good set, super great practical effects. There's like a decapitated head instead of a jack-o'-lantern with like a machete in it. And that's when she goes. That's when she goes, Jason! And then she runs out, and then
Maybe that was the name of the guy whose head was decapitated.
maybe. So anyway, he chases her out, and then he ends up getting her with a spear, or he throws like a spear at her.
Yeah, he nails her with something. Classic
then-
Jason with like the knife when he harpoons motherfuckers in 4.
And that's where the classic slasher part of it ends. Because immediately after he ices her, he gets all like goofy. He's like, and he goes up to her, like kicks her body.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you dead?
Once you hear his voice and it's a goofy, you know shit's about to change.
Kicking her body, make sure that she was dead. And so I was watching this, and I'm just like, yeah, this looks nice watching. You know, it's nice, cool.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah. And then that's when the UFO came, and they dropped off a tiny claymation alien.
Now, if you didn't see this short, I wouldn't blame you if you thought every word coming out of his mouth was a fucking lie right now.
And when I saw that little claymation alien, that's when I knew this was going to be the best shit ever.
we were in for it. Thank you, Tales of Halloween, for bringing us Friday the 31st. This is one of my favorite Halloween gems. I think I'm going to watch I don't even need to watch all this. I'm going to make sure to watch Friday the 31st every Halloween from now on. It is such a love letter to classic Halloween and horror cinema. It's perfect. It's perfect in every way. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, and the little claymation alien goes trick or treat.
Oh yeah, trick or treat! It's so cute.
And Jason just doesn't know.
He dresses a little pumpkin. Trick or treat.
He has a little bucket, a little jack-o'-lantern bucket, and Jason's just like,
I don't have any candy.
He's like, trick or treat. He says, trick or treat.
Like a spat. It's cute.
Yeah, he's just back and forth until Jason gets frustrated and fucking stomps his ass.
Oh yeah, because the claymation alien's like this big.
Yeah,
I don't know if we brought this up. It's fucking tiny.
So he stomps that shit, starts to walk away. And then of course the magic of claymation, the little ball of clay seeps its way into the dead girl's mouth and reanimates her. And then all of a sudden, she turns this big, crazy, like green-eyed, floating like witch demon
and it
thing.
completely changes the genre. Suddenly it's like a possession movie.
And now Jason's the victim.
So it's victim, but like it's all the classic like staples of the genre of like the possession movies, where she's like flying around, her knees are up, she's with the glowing eyes, kind of Evil Dead-ish, super Evil Dead-ish in fact, with like the cabin in the woods. Yeah, it's just hopping between all these genres, and it does it so fluently.
And like Jason's freaking like,
oh yeah, no, he's the funniest.
Yeah,
oh my god, he's the funniest characters in this entire anthology. It's so good. Eventually, they just start like.
It's just a fucking trading blow.
Yeah,
it's a blood fest at the end.
Like,
so
he sticks a knife in her head. It doesn't kill her. She stabs him in the gut. They can't kill each other to a point where like they both decapitate each other.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, he chops off her arm, then she chops off his arm, and like and then like he chops off her head, but then on her body on the way down cuts off his head, and then they both fall on a chainsaw. So
it's like a fountain of blood.
Yeah, Jason whips out a chainsaw during the fight, and like chainsaws like her head off or whatever, and then they both fall down the chainsaws. It's just like a fountain of blood, and then
somehow they get completely mangled by falling on top of this to the point where their pieces are just scattered. And their severed heads land next to each other.
Yeah, then the camera goes over the severed heads. Guess who shows up?
Motherfucking tiny claymation alien, that's who!
And he goes, and that cheeky little fuck goes twick or tweet and like not fucking.
Oh, he grabs the Jason's head
and teleports with it.
Yeah, that's what he came for apparently.
But anyway, fucking 10 Jason masks out of 10.
It's literally. It's perfect in everything it sets out to do. It's perfect as a parody. It's perfect as a homage. It's perfect as a horror comedy. It's perfect in every way. And it blows my mind. Like, this one had a budget.
I mean,
all of these other ones.
I mean, had the claymation budget.
I don't even. That's what I'm getting to. Is I'm not sure if they all had the same budget, but all of these other shorts were filmed in the director's house with a couple of people and like a bag of blood. That's it. This goes balls to the wall, buckets and buckets of blood, countless severed limbs, amazing gore, some like crazy sets, claymation, 3D animation. It's got everything. None of it's great, but it has everything, and it does it well, and with a whole metric fuck ton of heart. And I absolutely love this short. I love this short. Friday the 31st. My heart goes out to you. So good. Moving on. Oh fuck. Our next short is The Ransom of Rusty Rex by Ryan Schifrin now. Anyway, The Ransom of Rusty Rex. Honestly, didn't know that was the title. Because Rusty Rex is never brought up once in
Well,
this.
they call the kid Rusty.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares?
So this is like one of the first shorts towards the end that I remembered. Oh yeah, they're all loosely connected, or they're in the same area, because it starts off at the beginning with the UFO flying overhead, and on the radio they have the
the same announcer from the beginning.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, they're all connected. I think there's a couple moments like that throughout, but this is the one that was like the most obvious.
Well,
the first time
it's
is
the
most
one
obvious.
where they tried the hardest.
Yeah, the last one.
This is another one that really tries. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is so.
They gave a fuck about this one. It starts off with a pair of criminals who are trying something new. Instead of burglary, they're gonna try ransom.
Kidnapping.
Well, with the intention of ransoming off the kid, so ransoming. So they find their mark, our boy Rusty. They abduct him, almost with zero to no effort.
Oh.
Get him the fuck out of there, take him to their warehouse, comment on how fucking easy that was, and they should have been doing this from day one, and call up the dad. And that's when shit starts to get weird.
Really quick though, before they kidnap the kid, when he's trick-or-treating, they're following him around the neighborhood. There's one line that made me crack a smile. When like the lady was like, "Aren't you a little too old for trick-or-treating?" And the guy goes, "Never too old for sugar, Mom."
Oh yeah!
I was like, God damn it.
Okay. This is the
So
only
clever.
short where it's actually completely carried by the leads.
Yeah.
The leads,
They're pretty solid.
like, not only are these like well-established actors and voice actors, like, I recognize both of those dudes from from a lot of film, not just horror. Like, they absolutely carry this entire short. It's not a bad short, but it would have been nothing without them.
They kidnap the kid, super easy. They
Oh, yeah.
call it the dad. Apparently it's a really rich family. They call it the dad, and
He just starts laughing at him. He just starts.
fucked up.
They call him back. Why'd you hang up? Why'd you hang up? Why are you laughing? What's going on? And the dad straight up is just like, that's not my kid, and he's your problem now.
Turns out the thing breaks free, and it turns out to be
The thing, yeah, exactly.
yeah. It looks like Mordecai from the second short, the night that Billy raised hell. It looks like Mordecai. So this little impish demon fucker that's just like totally wrecking their shit, and it's like fucking them up, and they're fighting. It's running away. It's taunting them. It's like a big hassle.
It's a huge what is it called?
Yeah.
Kind of for the most part, a harmless trades back and forth between this monster and them, until it gets lethal. They kill the monster. Turns out
Didn't kill him. Yeah,
you can't kill him.
So they go to throw him into like a lake, or like chain him up and like throw him into a lake, and the guy like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
And it barfs in his face, like, all right, fuck you, throws him in the lake.
He gives him the Jason special, wraps him in the sleeping bag, smacks him around a couple times, and then throws him into the swamp. It was it's pretty great.
Yeah, and they get back to their warehouse, like, we're never fucking doing that again. And
Oh yeah, they're about to turn a new leaf.
and then they say, and then the guy's like, wait, and he sees like the wet footsteps.
Yeah,
And they have another trade-off with
with the creature.
and he calls the dad, like, what is this thing? You that thing just show up at our doorstep 5 years ago. It's not my son. He's like, why do you pretend it was baby?
Yeah, why did you pretend? There's a quick line of make sure you eat it, you feed it, because it will eat.
So if you don't feed it, it'll eat you.
Yes, Steve.
Yes. So anyway, they try to get rid of this demon child one last time by leaving it in front of the quote-unquote dad's house and setting it on fire like it's
So they have to put like a flaming bag of
shit, and they fucking poke it, and like they get back in their van, like let's just fucking keep driving until the sun rises, and then we'll drive some more.
Yeah. It's actually like it's a perfectly predictable ending that was 100% satisfying.
Yeah.
Like, this short had everything down to the characters having, like, character growth. Like, we're fucking done with this. And, like, I love the moment where they look at, and you know what? Fuck kidnapping and fuck crime. And they're having, like, this moment, and as soon as that happens, you know it's not gonna last.
Yeah, it cuts to later.
And
They're
it
at a,
doesn't.
cuts to later, and they're like at a gas station, and one of the dudes comes out with some snacks. Hey man, blah blah blah. Looks behind the seat.
Good old Rusty Rex is waiting for him, and
Yeah.
he found his own food.
Yeah, and he eating his friend, and he goes, ah. Yeah, he has the severed head of his friend. And he chomps into his ear, and he's like, oh my god. So yeah, it was like a really solid, like well-rounded
You
short.
could have renamed it Two Actors in a Fucking Warehouse, because that's all it was. It was just two really talented actors with really good comedy chops in a warehouse
Yeah, I love how
with a midget in prosthetics. But you know, it was, like I said, completely carried by those two actors.
fucking 10 out of 10 for me, baby. I don't know if you want to say anything else about it.
I give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like, it's a really well-rounded short, but it's one of the ones I don't think about when I think about this movie for some reason.
Because
Can't
it doesn't
quite-
really have all that much in it in the ways of standard horror or Halloween themed shorts. I mean, it's got both of them, but it's kind of just a comedy.
Yeah, it's really great, like on its own.
It's kind of just a comedy. And I think if it had a better script or a better story, plus the phenomenal actors, it would have been something exceptional. But because it was just two actors carrying a heavy load, gets a 9 out of 10. As opposed to the perfect 10 for Friday the 31st. Yeah, moving on.
We're moving on to the final short film of Tales of Halloween, and the one that ties them all together the
Well, it
most
does the
in
best
weird
job.
yeah, no, it's not in meaningful ways.
But subtly, you know, dialogue off screen. They put in the most amount of effort to actually tie together the anthology.
So what happens in this fucking one? This one's called Bad Seed. Definitely one of the most Halloweeny of them all because the main villain. Directed by Neil Marshall. So this is one of those ones where it's like it's a I think it's mostly a comedy or mostly.
I think it's
humor.
mostly a comedy.
Yeah, it doesn't take
It
itself
almost takes itself serious, but it straddles the line really well. Because I think we were talking about this off camera, where this one is super edgy. Like the main character is like an attractive woman who's a hard-boiled detective with scars, and her last name is super generic for a detective, like McAnally or something. Hey, McAnally. It's something you can say with a gravelly voice to a detective and it sounds appropriate. But because this film doesn't take itself seriously at all, which we'll get into once we start breaking it down, it's disingenuous, which makes it charming. It makes it interesting. It's essentially the exact opposite of the Week in the Wicked short, which we covered in the first part of the series.
So essentially what happens, it starts out with this guy, and he's carving this really big pumpkin, and it makes
Yeah, this very large, not at all a craft pumpkin.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Totally an organic pumpkin. It has no blemishes. It's like just like all pumpkins.
So he's super psyched about how he carved this big ass pumpkin. Wife comes down later, finds out the jack-o'-lantern is in the middle of eating her husband, biting his head off. It's really, I love
One of the most comedic. You can tell he's just holding the pumpkin.
and then when it does bite its head off, he's like, all the blood comes out. That was fucking good.
And then it
Honestly,
goofy like it runs its way out of there. It's great.
Like it grows these roots, and ever since that moment, like a constant smile on my face. Since
Yeah.
that moment, like, oh my
Yeah.
god, this is fucking hilarious.
You see this maniacally laughing fucking jack-o'-lantern
So
comically run away.
So runs off, then the wife comes down and freaks out, and she calls the police, and later the police are there investigating, and one of the funniest moments of this entire like movie happened when the sketch artist for the guy. So
I know
when
exactly.
police they take details from an
People at a crime
eyewitness.
scene,
Yeah, the eyewitness about what the perpetrator looks like. And God, the guy who's drawing the perpetrator, he says something funny. I forgot what the fuck he says. But it's like, I think God turns around, it's fucking a goofy, cartoony jack-o'-lantern.
But like drawn with like Crayola by an infant. It's great. You see like this old professional. He's very serious. He's like, I don't know if this is. I don't know if you're gonna take this serious. But then he's like a 2-year-old drew it with bright Crayola. Amazing.
Anyway, they go down the police station. They're trying to track it down, and this is where a lot of connections happen with the other
Yeah,
ones.
it's in the police
Like
station.
the fucking police chief calls the detective in. He's like, how come every like Halloween night shit goes crazy like this? And he's like referencing like there's a kid who's like robbing stores in the devil costumes. Like he's like bring up all these things. And when she leaves, like these two police come covered in chocolate. Like yeah, some kid like ate a bunch of candy and killed his babysitter from like the first one. Like they're throwing in all these callbacks.
They're not beating you over the head with them, but they're making sure to draw attention to the fact that this is an anthology. And you know what? Thank God they did, because they're the only ones that try.
Anyway, they're throwing a couple more jokes about it. It's a fucking pumpkin.
Yeah.
And then, oh, dude, and then later it cuts to a scene where like this pirate kid is going trick-or-treating and he sees this giant jack-o'-lantern with a bunch of gold inside of it. Anyway, that fucking kid gets eaten by a pumpkin.
Yeah, straight up.
Shit
That
was-
kid gets eaten.
That was
Straight up. That's why when we were talking about
fucking joke.
Billy Raises Hell,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, that kid got shot for sure.
Yeah.
This anthology does not shy away from
Killing
butchering children. And this kid gets eaten.
hmm
It's pretty good.
So, detective gets a call, some havoc going down somewhere in town. He sees fucking jack-o'-lanterns fucking
yeah, there's
going around the streets
one,
and shit.
one street they blocked off, and it's like havoc. Everything's on fire. There's dead people on the ground, and there's just once again this stupid cartoony puppet going. Whoop, 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 whoop,
Those people are,
whoop.
"Oh, shit."
And it's just scooting around. Oh, and it somehow jumps on top of her car.
And she rolls and jumps on the car. Oh my god! And Ro jumps up and she like fucking like whips out her gun and shit. She's like, so she like chases it into like a backyard that has a bunch of Halloween decorations and pumpkins.
Oh yeah,
And of
it's
course-
like the scene where it's like, oh, there's a bunch of pumpkins everywhere. I wonder which one it is.
It's not that big ass one right there. And she like shoots at it and like, well, she got scared, shoots 2 other pumpkins.
Well, she can't kill it with her pistol until.
She gets cornered by the pumpkin. This dude from the police station rolls up like, I'm here for some reason.
And throws
Is
her
there
a
a
shot.
shot?
Instead of using it, just tosses it to her, the frantic lady who's about to be
Like,
eaten.
McNally, here.
Yeah.
And then she fucking
Guts it,
shotguns the fuck out of that pumpkin. And,
which eventually cuts to a very Halloween season of the witch ending.
so they see a sticker from the corpse of this jack-o'-lantern of where it was produced. So like, let's go fuck it. So they go. So
Which
they go.
I'm sure the sticker had some kind of horror, like the bunch of the candy bars say Carpenters, like
Yeah.
John Carpenter. You have Stuart Gordon in some of these. I'm sure it was some kind of homage to some horror icon. The people who made this clearly love Halloween. Clearly, like so just because some of these shorts suck, does not take away from the love of Halloween this anthology has.
Yeah, let me give some final thoughts about the whole thing. But what happens?
Yeah, sorry.
So what happens is they track down the factory.
Yeah, this giant factory in the middle of this suburb.
This totally not suspicious looking laboratory. They get in and it's like, oh, what's the big deal? It's like, oh, and then
We're just growing pumpkins.
and then they go in. It's like, here, let me show you where it grows. Like, oh my god! Cuts to a wide shot. It's like thousands of like big ass pumpkins, and you know they're about to come to life. And
So
like, destroy everything.
cheesy. It's so cheesy.
I like-
that it's perfect.
I liked it, like-
loved it.
It just didn't take itself seriously. It's like just the right amount.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just the right amount of cheese peppered in all the time, and it's like you said, smiled the whole film.
Yeah. I give it 7 shotgun pumpkins out of 4 eaten pirate kids.
Not bad, not bad. That's pretty close. That's pretty close to what I give it. I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
So, here comes the hard question.
Not a
get
hard
to it.
question for me.
We'll start with you about. So now I'm gonna ask Bones what his favorite serious short was and his favorite comedic short.
Oh, okay, fine. Favorite serious one?
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Favorite? I guess, yeah, my favorite serious one would have to be Trick. If I have to pick a favorite serious one, either that or Sweet Tooth. Those two are actually pretty similar. Pretty similar vein of directing and like the style. But I'm gonna have to go with Trick. It's just so much more clever than Sweet Tooth, and because of that, they made this entire short with one prop eye and a little bit of blood, and it's great. So that's my favorite choice for serious. Not serious, Friday the 31st.
Fuck, man, that's like my same choices.
You can pick the same shit here.
Yeah.
Look them over real quick. If you make the same choices, that's okay. That just means we're on the same wavelength, buddy.
Like, it's a lot of close calls for me.
Yeah.
Like Billy Ray's Hell, Bad Seed, and The Ransom of Rusty Rex are like really fucking good. But dude, I think Friday the 31st is just so out there and ridiculous.
It's too good. It
It's
almost doesn't belong on this anthology.
The claymation alien just pushed it over the edge. And for my serious one, yeah, definitely Trick.
Yeah. Well, Trick is one of the better serious ones. All the other ones that take themselves too serious kind of fall on their face. So I got a different question for you.
Yes, sir.
What's your least favorite?
Oh,
Ooh.
it's a shame because
Shame.
It's got to be either Ding Dong or Grim Grinning Ghost. You know, probably fuck, because Ding Dong had that really cool witch monster. But I don't know, just kind of made it feel like. I mean, like maybe that was the intention. I mean, that was definitely the intention, is to make you feel kind of uncomfortable with the whole like, relationship. But it was more memorable than Grim Grinning Ghost.
That's for sure. At least, I don't know.
That-
I'm gonna just mess with your thought process. This one, with Ding Dong, I feel like they at least tried a little bit more. Like when she's shoving him in the oven, you see all those
that's cool.
toys and stuff and the flames. It's kind of cool. Grim Grinning Ghost, they put a bald cap on a bald chick and said she was a monster, and that was it.
Yeah.
So if you don't pick Grim Grinning Ghost, I am.
Yeah, that's probably Grim Grinning Ghost.
Hey Bones, what's your least favorite? Which one do you hate the most? Oh, good question,
Hate's a strong word. Which one do you not enjoy the most?
Fuck, that's pretty hard.
I thought you were gonna say Grim Grinning Ghost.
I was, but then The Weak and the Wicked. No, because The Weak and the Wicked is awful. It is awful, but it also tried really hard.
Yeah. it had a
Like,
good
just because the
production.
costume designer sucked huge fat cock doesn't mean they didn't try. Just because they were riding BMX bikes with wonky fucking handheld doesn't mean they didn't try. They even painted the words malice on one of the bikes. It was kind of cute.
Oh, yeah.
It would have made more sense if you did like cool art on a skateboard, but you know, whatever. A stencil on a BMX bike, sure, fine. You know, yeah, I'm gonna give it to Grim Grinning Ghost. Grim Grinning Ghost, which I think it's a song or something.
I think it's a reference. It's either a reference to an old song or a reference to Disney Haunted Mansion.
That's what it is. I'm gonna have to 100% give it to Grim Grinning Ghost. I don't know if they had a budget, and if they did, they used it all on the Stuart Gordon cameo, or what, but all it has to its name is like 1.5 good shots, and that's not enough. At least The Weak and the Wicked had a sweet blood cannon at the end, and a cool looking monster with a cool metal song. So that's at least 3 moments in this that were in Weak and the Wicked that were cool. So Grim Grinning Ghost, go fuck yourself.
So anyway, final thoughts.
Wait, what did you pick?
I picked Grim Grinning Ghost. But
Oh, we both picked it. Fuck.
yeah. So anyway, I wasn't a fucking asshole about it. Or maybe it was. Overall thoughts, final thoughts about Tales from Halloween. Overall, really positive. I can see this being like one of those things you put on every year. It's like a new Halloween
Yeah.
staple. I mean,
Quentin Tarantino has a name for these kinds of movies, like party movies, where you kind of just put them on and everybody else can be doing something at the same time.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's still playing, it creates the ambiance.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies.
yeah,
It's a party movie.
yeah, I could definitely see this being like a Halloween, not maybe like a tradition, like a Halloween tradition, something you put on during a party, you know. And even if you don't put it on just during a party, you can still like skip the ones that you don't like because there's so many like different shows
Yeah.
and stuff.
If anything, I think it'd be fun just to watch with somebody who's never seen it. Even the shitty ones, just to see their reactions.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely one of those ones that's a lot of fun to watch with like new people
And
like,
this
talk
is
about.
so it has a lot of replay value.
There's
To what I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah, and then like I think it's overall pretty solid package for what you get here. You get 10 fucking shorts. Oh, and I didn't even fucking mention there's bonus short films on this Blu-ray that
Wait, holy shit!
we haven't even seen.
Really?
We might have to make a third episode just for the bonus
How many
short
are
films.
there? There's 7.
Yeah. So anyway,
Look forward to an episode 3.
anyway,
What the shit?
and I was saying overall very positive review of Tales of Halloween. A lot of fun, a lot of campy, cheesy fun with some more serious Halloween action going on in there. Very solid package, I think. Honestly.
Yeah, I think
good.
it's a good representation of Halloween, because I mean, just because some people try and ruin it with their shit shows doesn't mean Halloween as a whole sucks. I give this movie as a whole at least a 9 out of 10. There's still something to be gained from even the shitty ones.
It's even like
Show it to your friends. Watch them cringe. At least you can enjoy it that way.
it's also a good movie to get drunk to. You know?
Yeah, yeah. There you go. We never said we were role models.
Yeah, you know, it's like fucking, since they're a bunch of shorts, there's no long narrative that they pay a lot of attention to. So you just drink and
Oh,
have
especially
fun.
for someone like you, when they drink and watch a movie, they always fucking fall asleep. This is perfect.
Not as much anymore. Anyway, thank you for watching our review, our 2-part review, possibly going to be a 3-part
It's
review.
gonna have, I mean, reading the names on the back, you're gonna look forward to seeing a part 3.
And like always,
We'll see you.
on the other side. On the other side. On that
On the
side.
other side.
On the side that's over on the other side.
The other one.
It's over there.
That one.
We'll see you there.
Over there.
We'll see you there on Friday at noon. We'll see you Pacific time.
On the
Other
other
side.
side.
What the fuck?